Well, how'd your tour go? Did you get all the information you need to get? That was a very short, quick tour, but we hope that you got some kind of feeling for what the school is all about, so that you know that we're more than just a Toyota program, but we have a lot of things that will support that Toyota program. If I didn't get to shake your hand this morning, I'm Steve Doty, and I'm the department head for the automotive department here on campus. And it certainly is my pleasure to welcome you here today. We have a lot of events going on. We have a lot of activities to talk to you about, and a pretty exciting day for us, I think. Our main function here today is talk to you about what we're going to call the Toyota Technical Education Network. Now, you're going to hear that referred to sometimes as T10, T Toyota 10 Technical Education Network. So if you hear that terminology, you'll know that it's one and the same thing. I think the purpose behind the meeting today is to let you know what T10 is all about and how it's going to be a resource for you, a place to come to procure employees as service technicians in your dealerships. And we've been developing this for some time in cooperation with the folks from Toyota. It's finally ready to happen. And as educators, we're very excited about this because we've seen the effort and the work and the dedication that's gone into making it possible, and we're really pleased with how everything is turning out. I think I can also speak for some of the Toyota management team, and they will also share some of those thoughts with you, that they're excited about it. They've also seen the kind of work and dedication and effort that's gone in, and I think that makes our job here this morning pretty easy, because if we're excited about it, it ought to be pretty easy to make you excited about it. And if you can leave here with the same kind of feeling that we have, then we've done our job. Before we start talking about the specifics of the program, there are some other people who want to welcome you and share some comments with you. The first person is the director of our school, Dr. Bob Klobenish. Dr. Klobenish has been a part of this program from the beginning. He's dedicated himself and the school's resources and the facilities, and whatever it takes to make the program work. We have the support of our director. And you need to know that, because that's a very important element in any program that exists on a college campus. If your director won't support you, the program won't work. And I'm here to tell you that our director supports us. So welcome, if you will, the director of our campus, Dr. Bob Klobenish.
Thanks, Steve and Sam. We're pleased you're here, and Don and other people that are associated with Toyota. I also want to thank all of the guests that have come to spend this morning with us as we formally recognize the linkage that Oklahoma State University Technical Branch has developed with Toyota. This is the first linkage of this type that we have developed with an organization in this manner, and we're very excited about it and think that the potential of it is very, very significant. And then, in addition to that, it will serve as a model for other things in other areas that we would like to do. I am confident that this program is going to be very successful. There's just no question in my mind, because I think we've done it right in our work with the Toyota people. We've essentially spent 2 years, at least maybe a little bit more than 2 years, talking with them, thinking about this and developing the program together. So it has truly been a joint effort. And if you're going to have a successful effort, I think it takes that kind of deliberate planning and thinking through what the implications are before you kick it off. And we're at the point now today, the reason that we're here is that we're ready to formally kick the program off. And it's exciting for many, many reasons. But the one that's of concern to all of us is, during the decade of the 90s and on, where are we going to get our skilled technicians? There are fewer young people available. We're all getting a little bit more gray around the temples, and technology is changing rapidly. And it's going to take programs like this, the cooperation between industry and education, and in this case, technical education, to provide the new people that we need to enter the workforce, and then to keep those that are in the workforce upgraded technically so that they can do the job that needs to be done. So I'm very pleased to be a part of this. I think that our relationship with Toyota will establish a model for us. We look forward to continuing to develop the program. So thank you very much, and I'm pleased that you're here. I would like to introduce Don Cole, who is the Director of Service for Gulf States Toyota Inc. in Houston, Texas. Don?
Many of you were at the dealer meeting Wednesday, and for those of you that weren't, we had a dealer meeting collecting all of Gulf States Toyota dealer general managers talking about the future. And the theme of that meeting was the future is now. This meeting today is the same thing. Even though we've been 2 years working with OSU Tech, putting this program together, it is new to you. And we are very firm in our belief that this program and programs of its type are essential for our continued success in the market. The future really is now when it comes to quality trained technicians. The system that we've been using for the last 25, 30 years to provide technical trained folks to you at an entry level is not going to keep up with the rapid change in the market, rapid technology change, fly-by-wire, ABS, all the electronic marvels that we have ahead of us. Only a system such as this can provide you with the entry-level, basically skilled folks for you to carry on to the next level. So we appreciate your participation in this today, and certainly count on your continued participation helping us make this whole program successful. To be brief on time, we need to move along. At this time, I'd like to introduce someone from the West Coast who's part of the creator of the T10 program, and is certainly the one directly responsible for maintaining it, the T10 program director, Mr. Sam Rosen.
Good morning and welcome to this open house for the Toyota Technical Education Network. Recently we've celebrated our 30th anniversary here in the United States, and we've come from a manufacturer that sold a handful of cars in those first few years to being the first import manufacturer to sell over 1 million cars and trucks in a single year. And during those 30 years we've produced 10 million vehicles here in the States, and there's still 8 million of them on the highways. And at Toyota, we believe that to maintain that growth that we've come to enjoy, we must continue to offer cars and trucks that are among the most advanced and sophisticated in the world, and be the undisputed leader in customer satisfaction. High-tech, innovation, sophistication, location. All of these items are important. Together they're formidable. However, the foundation of business success is service provided by people who are carefully selected and properly trained. People who feel they're a vital part of an endeavor. And we need to deliver a high-touch difference that will bind our customers to our nameplate. And to build this customer loyalty, we must develop an attitude of taking care of the customer as number one. And couple that with the realization that outstanding products and take your breath away service do not constitute another impossible dream. So Toyota has committed itself to helping our dealers develop a group of technicians that are going to be the most professionally and thoroughly trained in the industry. But as in the sales part of our business, finding these good qualified individuals, the competition for them is fierce. And we share your thoughts that we must all work together to show the young people the opportunities that are available to them in this industry of ours. And so the Toyota Technical Education Network provides a quality path for young men and women who are interested in a career that's interesting and challenging. A career that not only provides a secure future, but also opens up other opportunities at Toyota dealerships. So working closely with 50 specially selected community colleges and vocational schools like OSU, Toyota is providing scholarships, actual on-the-job experience, job placement assistance for those students who accept the challenge of working on some of the best automotive products in the world today. The T10 program is an example of the long-term commitment that Toyota has made to stay in the North American market. All of you are aware that recently we've invested over $2 billion to produce Camrys in Georgetown, the Kentucky assembly plant down there. That, along with the plant in Fremont, California, and Ontario, Canada, we expect this to enable us to increase our sales to 1.5 million over the next few years. So Toyota is expanding, and we sincerely wish for OSU, for the city of Okmulgee, and for the state of Oklahoma to grow with us. And as we continue to actively improve the Toyota program, everyone wins. Toyota and its customers, the school, and most importantly, the students that go to school here. We thank you for your hospitality here today, and we look forward to being good neighbors and friends in the years to come. We, last summer, as the program began to mature, the program started in 1986, and we didn't just come out and say to you folks, well, we've got this great program. We wanted to wait till we got the program in place, till we had the schools on board, and then we wanted to introduce you to the program. So last summer we produced a tape entitled Building Your Winning Team. And I'd like to go ahead and show this, you realize that we lucked out here when they won the World Series. Okay.
Pee-wee Reese, Roy Cavanaugh, Roy Wills, Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax. Thanks to players like these, the Dodgers won 10 pennants and 4 world championships between 1946 and 1966. Their secret? The best farm system in all of baseball. They have the best scouts, the best teachers, the best training camp, and the best training program designed to provide the basic skills and winning attitude needed to contribute to the team's ongoing success. A good farm system strives to have someone ready to step up to the plate when needed, polished, poised, and trained in the major league way of doing things. Now, Toyota has a farm system of its own. It's called the Toyota Technical Education Network. And each year, it turns out a sizable number of polished and proven entry-level technicians, all well-trained in the basics of doing things the Toyota way. Some of these students could be waiting for a shot at making your team. We've signed up more than 50 of the best technical and vocational schools in the country, and we've provided them with the best tools, equipment, and training materials available. We've also developed high-level Toyota training courses for their automotive students. And we've provided scholarships, work-study programs, and job placement assistance to recruit the most highly qualified prospects. All to give you the first pick of some of the best entry-level technicians in your local area. When you call up a technician from this innovative Toyota educational program, you'll be getting a motivated individual, skilled in the Toyota way of doing things, already familiar with Toyota products and technology, who has proven his technical ability and commitment to a career as an automotive technician. Your apprentice technicians can be productive and profitable members of your team right from day one. You'll be giving them their first big league opportunity, thus building dealership loyalty that can reduce costly technician turnover.
For years, I guess the only tool was to call up a friendly mechanic at some other garage, find out what he's making, offer him more, sit down with him, and after hours, he'll offer him more money and steal it. Generally speaking, that individual will not even give a notice. He's leaving the next day. It's happened to me, it's happened to every dealer across the country. For the first time now, we have the ability, the dealer and the service manager has the ability to start there. Maybe bring more water to the professional too.
But now that we have this T10 program, we're excited. We've had 2 technicians now that are working full-time, and we have 2 more that have gone back to school to get some more theory. And when they get through, we're going to put them on too.
The high caliber of work produced by these recruits can strengthen customer satisfaction with your dealership and play a major role in the success of Toyota's important new Fix It Once, Fix It Right quality control game plan.
The benefit to having somebody going through the school prior to us getting them from a different location or different, like Jiffy Lube, etc., is that the person is qualified, saves us less time of training, on-the-job training. And that is a key to us with the type of business that we're into. We only get one chance to fix it right, and we need to do it at that point.
Best of all, it's easy for you to draft from this growing pool of young talent. All you have to do is get involved with your local Toyota T10 school and ensure that these recruits work side by side with your experienced technicians during their apprenticeship. Your dollar investment is low, simply a fair wage for the time the student actually works in your service department. In fact, think of your local Toyota T10 school as your own personal farm team. You'll be able to add new technicians to your lineup as your service volume grows. You'll receive technicians who are pre-screened and tested by the school for technical knowledge and problem-solving ability. Toyota has given them the opportunity to earn tuition and tool scholarships and thoroughly familiarize them with the latest technology, tools, and equipment. Toyota has provided their T10 school with advanced Toyota training courses, normally offered only to established Toyota technicians and not available at any other vocational school. And now, they're eager to use these skills and training to make the starting lineup at your dealership. These are the Toyota Master Technicians of the future, and you have the first crack at hiring them. This program could not have come at a better time for your dealership. With the rapid increase in UIO count, many of you are now faced with a technician shortage. By 1992, you and your fellow Toyota dealers will require an additional 4,000 highly skilled and motivated technicians.
We now presently have 51 service stalls that have voice, a total of 57 service stalls. We have 12 master techs here at Burke Toyota. So the service business is growing. It's enormous. CSI, OSI, those are both linked so closely to how well we service and take care of the customer. That's why we have to have good qualified personnel.
In addition, these graduates can also make excellent recruits for other positions on your team, such as assistant service managers, parts specialists, and other key management positions. They can grow with your organization and provide long-term benefits that will help you for years to come. The Toyota Technical Education Network can make your dealership a powerhouse in your league, make your customers feel like MVPs, and drive Toyota to the top of the customer satisfaction index. When you join the T10 team, everyone wins. This program has been brought to you by Toyota Motor Sales USA.
Well, building a winning team, that's what it's all about. We do, and that's what everyone is going to accomplish with your help as well. Obviously, there's no doubt in our mind that there's a need for specifically trained Toyota technicians. The answer to that is a program that will let students work as an apprenticeship or an internship to develop the skills that they're going to learn in the classroom into the dealership and then become employed at a Toyota dealership. You need to know that this, in our opinion, is a long-term program. We want you to have this school as a resource for years and years to come, to be able to come here, recruit some good, well-trained Toyota service technicians who will go to your service department and be productive. Well, how does all this work? There are several things that we want to talk to you about. And one of the things is the actual program content. Now, you all have a folder in front of you, and we're not going to go through everything in the folder, but there are a couple of things that I want you to look at. If you'll open it up, the first thing you'll see is a fact sheet. Looks like this. There's a young man working on a Toyota Camry. That fact sheet is our regular program. If you open it up to the inside, you'll notice that it incorporates 6 trimesters of a combination of automotive classes and a combination of general education classes. Our program is currently an associate degree program. The reason that it is because our advisors who meet with us twice a year tell us that that student, yes, has to be automotively technically competent, but he also has to have some skills that let him understand how people tick, what makes them work, how do they get along, how can he communicate with them, how can he do some math skills so that everybody stays on track. And if you notice that every trimester, that student takes a course in automotive, and he also takes courses in general education classes. In addition to that, they will take some courses that are interdisciplinary courses. We actually send the students to the electronics department here on campus to beef up their electronic skills before they come back into the automotive department, and we apply them to something automotive. That's our mainstream program, and that's where we're going to draw the candidates for the Toyota program. Immediately behind that, you're going to find a yellow sheet, and on top of that, it says Toyota option. And if you very quickly look at the two, you'll notice that the first 5 trimesters are identical to our mainstream program. On the back of the sheet, you'll see the Toyota courses that that student is going to take over 2 more trimesters. So basically what's going to happen here at the end of 5 trimesters, that student is going to have the option to branch off into a Toyota-specific program. If he does that, he is really going to stay on campus with us 1 more trimester than his normal program would allow. He still gets his associate degree. We're going to give him credit for his Toyota participation towards our 6th trimester study. So the associate degree still applies. All right? Now, the nice thing about this is that because it works in conjunction with our existing program, that student has 5 trimesters of very specific automotive education. And let's face it, the way cars are being constructed, designed, built, and serviced today, the automotive service industry may not be for everyone. And occasionally we get some students that come into the program and maybe in their 2nd or 3rd trimester, they decide that there's another career path they should follow. And so we help them do that, make that transition, and we wish them well. Well, you're going to draw from a pool of people who have been through 5 of their normal 6 trimesters, who by that time have made a commitment to the automotive service industry. Okay? What better pool could you really draw from? Not only does a student say, yes, I want to be part of the automotive service industry, he now says, I want to specifically be part of the Toyota automotive service industry. So that's the pool of students that you're going to draw from. And I think it's well thought out, well designed, and I believe it's going to work well also. Okay. In order to make the program work, Dr. Klobanish and others have alluded to the fact that it's a team effort. And there are really 3 players on this team. There's the school, there's Toyota, and there's you as dealers and service managers. Let me tell you about some of the things the school has done to make that commitment. Obviously, the first thing that we did was sat down and looked at the Toyota curriculum that they supplied. And we agreed that there is a place for that curriculum in our normal program. So these students are not going to have to wait till they get to the end of their 5th trimester, and now all of a sudden we jump into Toyota only. Beginning in trimester 1, we expose them to Toyota terminologies and technologies and service procedures and service manuals and vehicles and training aids, so that all the while they're going through their first 5 trimesters, they're becoming acclimated to what you normally use in your service industry. And I think that's a plus. We have some gentlemen who are part of our faculty who are here with us this morning. And if you stop and look at any college program, you can have the best administration in the world, you can have the best facilities, you can have the best equipment, but if you don't have good faculty, you don't have a program. I'm here to tell you that the faculty that we have in the automotive department, in my opinion, is second to none. Every one of these individuals has many years of industry experience and many years of teaching experience. And I think we've got the right team here to make this Toyota program work. Automotive service faculty, if you'll stand, I think we should appreciate you. Those are the guys that are going to initiate the program and get it off the ground. And we'll talk about another instructor in just a second. The other thing that we decided to do was make a major investment in our equipment updating. The very next sheet in your folder says Automotive Technology Department, and it lists some major pieces of equipment. And I show you that only to let you know that this program is important to us, and our mainstreaming program is important to us, and so we decided that we needed to make some major investments here to beef up what we have. You can look that list over at your leisure, but you'll see on there our extra alignment machines, overhead lifts, 4-gas analyzers, digital engine analyzers, some sophisticated tune-up kind of equipment. And if you totaled all those numbers on there, you would come to just about $100,000. Now, I'm sure that every one of you would like to invest that in your service department any one given year, but that's not always possible. Fortunately, we were able to get some state allocation and some money from some other sources, and so we're able to do that. We're going to go ahead and upgrade our equipment, bring it up to the standards we think are necessary, not only for our mainstream program, but for the Toyota program as well. You need to know that as a sign of the commitment by Toyota, that $10,000 of that money has been donated by them just because we've agreed to be part of this program. If you multiply $10,000 by the 50 colleges they have across the country, you can see that there's a very serious commitment on their part as well. So we're making a commitment to upgrade our equipment. Toyota is helping us do that. All right? The other thing that we've done is this facility. We call this a Toyota dedicated facility. Now, students are going to be in here for a half of a trimester in their lab working on specific things, and they'll be half of a trimester in your dealerships as an intern. They'll come back and they'll repeat that process. This is where they'll be working. We will only use this lab for other things when those Toyota classes are not in session. Okay? Again, another commitment on our part, on the school's part, on the part of the director to indicate to you and to Toyota that we see the value in this kind of program. Last but not least, we have an instructor who is going to concentrate just about 100% of the time on Toyota training. All of the service faculty that you just met earlier are going to start plugging that in the first 5 trimesters. And when the students finally make that commitment, we have an instructor who has been through every Toyota school there is, will continue to go to every Toyota school there is, and will be our guy on campus that will take those technicians from where they are at the end of their 5th trimester through the Toyota training program. So we have not only a dedicated facility, we have a dedicated instructor as well, and you'll hear from him in just a second. In addition to some of the commitments I alluded to from Toyota already, there are some others you should be aware of. We have 7 vehicles on our campus right now that have been donated by Toyota for our use in training. You probably also saw the cutaway vehicle over there in the lobby. That's one of very few that exist in the country. We'll use that as part of our training program. We have everything from engine blocks and cylinder heads, and transaxles and brake rotors and special tools. We have curriculum that goes from A to Z, provided to us by Toyota. It's the same kind of curriculum that your service technicians go through when they come to this school and take their classes. Same kind of curriculum. That's what we're going to use. They've also provided us with service manuals, and if you look around here, I think in some cases we're probably the envy of some people, even in terms of service manuals. I believe that we have every service manual from 1984 on. Obviously a very important part of the program. All of the video equipment that you see here has been donated by Toyota. We have a library full of tapes that have been donated by Toyota. And more is still to come are our engines and more transaxles and more vehicles. Obviously, that tells us that there's a strong commitment here, and I hope by my sharing that with you, it tells you the same thing. There's no doubt in my mind that what we've received from Toyota to make this program work is the single largest complete commitment ever made to us by a manufacturer. A pretty strong statement. We've been here a long time. We've got a lot of good support from manufacturers. But I can tell you this is the single most complete commitment that we've seen. And we're proud of that. Toyota's proud of that, and I hope you are too. I think we can agree, based on what I've said, that the school has made a commitment, Toyota has made a commitment, and there's one team player left, and that's you. we'd like for you to make a commitment to help us make that program work as well. Let's face it, the bottom line here, the bottom line are some qualified Toyota service technicians. And who's going to get the most benefit out of that? You are. And there are very small things that we're going to ask you to do, and you'll hear more about that in just a second. There are two aspects basically to the program. An internship, where they'll work alongside a master tech at your dealership, working on the classes that they've already been through here at this school, and they'll do that twice, and then they're ready to become employed. The second part of that program, again, is the classroom instruction. And I think you need to have a little flavor, a little idea about what that involves so that you know the kind of effort we're going to make to bring these guys up to speed. Jerry Biddle, as I indicated earlier, is our dedicated instructor. Jerry's had 5 years of industry experience. He's been with us here at this school for 12 years. He's not a rookie. He didn't just fall off the apple cart. He's somebody that we thought very carefully about when we made this selection. And I'm also here to tell you that I think we've got the right guy in the right time in the right place. So I want you to help me welcome and appreciate the Toyota dedicated instructor, Jerry Biddle.
Thank you, Steve. Well, that's some big shoes to fill, but I think I can do it. I want to start off by saying about 2 years ago when Toyota came on campus, there was a rumbling up here. Now, you got to realize that they came into Noble Center, and that's one of our newest facilities on campus. And we heard up here, the instructors in the automotive department heard that they were on campus and we were going to get to set in on their classes and actually get some hands-on and some updated training. And lo and behold, the order came down that I was one of the guys that got picked to go to one of the early classes. And I thought, well, that's great. I look forward to any product knowledge, any specific training that I could get, anything. Well, it happened to be air conditioning school, 726. And I thought, well, this ought to be interesting because I'd never been to a Toyota air conditioning school. I've been to quite a few other product training schools on air conditioning. And I met the instructor, Terry Blakely, and he started out that morning with his usual introduction, and I've gotten pretty used to that now after attending most of his classes. But it was different. As Terry stood up there and talked, and these technicians sat around and listened to him, I got a chance to look around at their faces and watch what they were doing, the notes they were taking, and the interest that they had in what he was saying. And there was a feeling that I was picking up from Terry that I hadn't gotten in another school. And I couldn't put my finger on it. And I sat through the school, and as the day progressed, I realized that I was in a situation that I hadn't been in before. That it was a unique teaching situation, and that Terry was a unique instructor. And I thought, well, I'll just sit and observe. And what I was hearing was so much alike to the other products that I had been accustomed to that everything just kind of came easy. And I thought, this is a great opportunity to sit in this school. And I came back down here after the school was over, and I bragged to these other instructors that Toyota's doing something right. They've got a guy down there that's dynamic that just blows you away. He knows what he's talking about. He doesn't pretend that the product is perfect, but he knows all the aspects of it, and he answers all the questions, and does a very good job of it. And I highly respected him for that. And sometime later, Mr. Doty came to me, and I was still kind of thinking about the Toyota school, and I brought back some good information from it. Got a few manuals, these handbooks that technicians take back to your dealerships. And I thought, well, it'd be nice to be able to expand on this and give it to my students. I thought that'd be great. And so I did that. I happened to be teaching air conditioning at the time. And so I brought it back, and their interest was real high, because this was something new, an import, giving us information, and I thought that was great. So Mr. Doty came to me one day, and he asked me, he said, would you be interested in possibly teaching a Toyota program? And I didn't have to think very long. I'd already been exposed to a situation that I hadn't experienced before, at least not to that extent and that expertise. And I thought, well, what would it involve? But he said, well, you'd have the same training material that Blakely used in his class. And I said, you mean the red instructor's guide? And I could give out the same workbooks and work on the same stuff? He said, yeah, absolutely. And I said, yes, absolutely yes. It'd just be great. It's an instructor's dream. Here's the material. All you have to do is just learn how to instruct on it and teach these guys exactly this way. Well, that's an instructor's dream. It's something that doesn't happen every day. So I jumped on it. Well, there's more to it than that, but that was the biggest decision I found out that I'd made in quite a few years. It involved a lot of work. And Mr. Doty is just a little bit wrong on his percentage on, he said that I devote almost 100% to this, and you're off by about 45%, about 142% is what I think I will devote to this. Every school that I've been to, and I've had instructions at the Technical Training Center in Houston, which all of you are familiar with. I also had the opportunity to go to the Kansas City Regional Training Center in Kansas City. And it's an experience that I just, beyond compare. I thought that Terry kind of warned me. He said, now, those guys aren't like us down here. And I didn't know how to take that. So I walked in a little bit hesitant. And he was right. They weren't exactly like them. But in the Toyota sense, they were. There's one thing that I've found that everybody stresses at these training schools, and that's quality. Quality, quality, quality. And it's just pushed. And it's not because it's something that Toyota wants, it's because they believe it. And it's something that I have grown accustomed to and will absolutely stress in my courses. You see the signs that say Toyota quality and all this, and a lot of people take them with a grain of salt. But there's more to it than that, and you guys know that because you're involved with it every day. I've come to realize that as I've attended these training sessions, and there's no shortcuts. There's one thing that you just have to do, and that's take that material, expand on it, and I'm a lucky individual. I've been here 12 years, and I have not been in one subject matter that whole time. I've been fortunate enough to get shared with the other areas, all the areas that you visited today, with the exception of auto trim. I've been there at one time or another in some capacity, and I like that because now I know what this whole program is about. And so if I need to say something about automatic transmissions, I know Mr. Bell has already covered it, but I can reinforce that. If we need to talk something about electronics, fuel injection, I know that Mr. Adolph and Mr. Allen do a good job. And I've been fortunate enough, some people look at it as being fortunate, some don't. And I've been fortunate enough to have to take those classes in their absence. And those are big shoes to fill, especially Mr. Adolph's. It is really something to walk into a man's class and be able to teach it similar to what he does, get it across to the students, and try to do the same or an equivalent job that he does. This is the kind of background that I would bring to the Toyota program. And as you look around the shop here today and you see the manuals, I was commenting to Sam yesterday, it's just unbelievable. You look around and I thought, you see these service manuals, and we beg for service manuals and information. And like Mr. Doty says, 84 to 89, every service manual, every wiring diagram that Toyota ever produced is right here, and is in my possession. And Mr. Doty says, it's your baby, you take care of it. Nobody else is in charge of it. If something comes up missing, you're also responsible. You know, well, that's fine. I accept that responsibility. But you look around and you see the silver and black workbooks. You see the machinery. You see the tools. You see the videos over here. I told Sam, you know, it's really something. This is not stuff that was brought here to show you guys. This is stuff that's here. That's the great part. It doesn't have to leave today when you guys do. It's here. This is not a show just saying that, you know, we've got this, we want to make an impression. We do want to make an impression, but realize that these things that are scattered around this shop are here to stay. They're mine to use in the Toyota program. And with the training that I have had, with the background that I've got, and with the future training that I'll take, I intend to take these students that come into this T10 program and teach them the specifics, the same things, not with the expertise that some of the Toyota instructors do, at least not for a while, but with I can't even bring them up to the 89 level. I think that's probably an expectation that we can't expect right now. But to take these guys and teach them a specific Toyota product. So if they walk into Steve's dealership, he doesn't have to show them where the oil filter is. You know, he doesn't have to explain what a sensor is, where it is, what it does. He doesn't even have to say, he can say, go get the ECT analyzer. They know what it is. They've already used it. They know how to hook it up. And they're familiar with the Toyota manual. That's probably a big thing to get used to, as I've found out through my training. Learning the way through that Toyota manual is a job in itself. And that's something that if these guys can come into the dealership and work with a master technician, and the guy doesn't have to lead him around, he already has that basic training, then we'll start with the technician that enters above maybe what you're used to. A guy that you already know is trainable and probably is productive from day one. And what Mr. Cole is going to say after this will probably enlighten you quite a bit more to that. But productivity is probably, you know, is a main goal. You've got this guy out here, you can't support him forever. So we're going to stress productivity. And what I like to do with these guys is, you saw in the electronic trainer course in there, in the classroom, that same program where we start out with Ohm's Law, teaching these guys that some of them had no electronic background whatsoever, and to teach them Ohm's Law and how to figure how that light bulb actually came on, or better yet, why it didn't come on. And build circuits on the suitcase that you saw in there on the table, bring them out to these cars that have been donated, and make them do the same identical operation with the same test equipment that you'll use out in your shops. This is where we plan to take these guys, so that when they enter your program or your dealership, that you don't have to lead them around and show them where the bathroom is or anything like that. These guys are already on the ball. We intend to make a top-notch technician out of them as quickly as possible. Thank you very much.
Well, I hope Jerry has left you with the impression that he's certainly committed to the program, and that if you want to see a guy that will work hard and do a good effort, again, we picked the right guy. That's one part of the program. That's the classroom part of it, and that's the lab part of it. The other part is the internship. Here to share that with you is Don Cole.
Thank you, Steve. The internship side is where you guys come in. That's where we need your help and support. I think as we graduate and spend a few years in this, it will become more of an expectation than a challenge or something new. The students that will be provided for you, I think you can see from this facility and the commitment of the people, are going to be some very highly motivated young men and women. They have chosen to go to school to learn a trade. They have chosen a 2-year associate's degree program, which is different than many other ways that you could have been taught, and it provides for a rounded education. You get a more stable person. And they've chosen to become automotive technicians. And these three things put together give you a product that you probably can't as well select out in the open market. As an internship sponsor, you as a dealer and a service manager, though, do have a responsibility to create a learning environment, which would be very important to the further development of this young man or lady. And a part of that is to put yourself in a position that you compensate these students at a rate sufficient to allow him to direct his interests toward learning and not have to concentrate just on his concern for paying his bills. And the compensation side of things is a key element to the success of this program. Take a second, though, and think about the time that has been spent in school before you see this guy for the first time. The first internship section, where he will come and do a work session with you, will be after he's spent 89 weeks in this facility. 89 weeks. And when he goes back for his last trimester and is again sent out for a work session, he would have spent 104 weeks at this facility, learning, among other things, but principally automotive technology. This man or lady will be very highly qualified, and as Jerry has alluded to, he's going to be a proven learner, and he's going to be ready to work. Placed in the hands of a master tech, we're confident that this student will prosper, and we're also confident that you can profit from it even from day one. Compensation is a critical subject. It can be handled in many ways. It will be your responsibility to create some sort of a plan, a creative one, that will satisfy the needs of all three people involved. The needs of the student for self-sufficiency, the needs of the master tech with whom he'll be learning, and the needs of the dealer because you have an interest in this yourself. If I can take a minute and grab a chart. If we can take a look at the first work session in terms of weeks, we've got a section of 8 weeks where this student will be working with your master tech. And this is a suggestion. We noodled this thing together one evening. We would like to start this student at a rate consistent with what the market and industry usually expects. And it's something that is sufficient to compensate himself in a way to pay his bill, pay for his housing and food. So we invented a $5 initial rate. And this is a suggestion of the way to fly here. We would like to pay the student on a $5 rate from day one. In the second week, he will still be on a $5 rate. The third week, still on a $5 rate. And in the fourth week, if he's performing well, we'd like to give him a raise and crank him up a little bit. Let's kick him to $5.50. Now these are clock hour rates, not flat rate. We're not introducing this person to the pressures of the clock. He's in the hands of a skilled master tech. He's in an internship, and the only thing he worries about is how many hours he's on the job. The $5.50 rate will continue. If he continues to excel, let's try $6. And we'll run 6 for a week or two. And then maybe a $6.50 if he's continuing to perform well. Thank you, Jason. And we had in our head at the end of it, first 8 weeks internship, this guy is performing honestly. Let's just crank him up and send him back to school feeling good and put him on $7 an hour. Now he'll be going back to this facility, spending another quick trimester, which is his last trimester. And just before his final graduation, he'll come back to you for another 8-week period. We want to start him at that $7 rate. And then again, as a suggestion, as he continues to perform, we will continue to pay him $7. A little later, we'll give him a bump to $7.50. And as he's winding down the end of his internship, we just thought $8 had a nice ring to it. And we will send him back for his final weeks of his graduation on an $8 rate, which I think would be a good matching rate for his skills and performance at that time. Now we got to stop thinking about the master tech too, right? He's had this guy in his arms for weeks and weeks. To train him took time off what he could normally have clocked, and we'd like to compensate the master tech. So again, just as a mental exercise, we were paying the student $5 an hour first week, second week, third week, and then he started to get a little more efficient, and we started bumping it up. We want to take the master tech and make it very much worth his effort for this student to be under his wing. So we propose that the first week, you pay the master tech 100% of whatever this guy may turn. This isn't practice, he's turning hours. Every hour that the tech turns, give it to the master tech. And let's run that and get him 100%. Third week, 100%. Fourth week, 100%. And maybe the fifth week, let's cut him back to 75. At that time, this person should be a little more self-reliant, should be able to take instruction and perform without so much hands-on. So some of the burden is taken off the master tech, this bump me back to 75. Seventh week comes around, and we propose that we cut him back to 50%, and that will leave him at the end of the 8th week with the master tech picking up half of all the hours. And again, the student goes back, does another trimester, comes back in his final work session. He comes back on $7 an hour. The master tech says hello, puts him back next to him, brings it off. Again, at a 50%, he was used to it, it's comfortable. And we'd like to run this 50% all the way to the end of the internship. Now, you can move the numbers up and down and change the concept around, but what we're trying to illustrate is there can be some creative ways to get there from here. And at the end of this internship, the student is making an $8 an hour clock wage, which is acceptable. And the master tech is picking up half of everything that this guy who spent more than 2 years in school can turn. And I'm pretty comfortable with that, just from a concept standpoint. Of course, the next side is a student master tech. The one left guy is the dealer. Let's take a quick look at the dealer's opportunity in this. We wanted to put some numbers to things, and we were trying to figure out when this guy comes back at his last work session, and let's take the highest dollar side of things. Let's envision what the student can perform right there. 2 years in school. He's at the end of his last trimester. These work sessions behind me. In a given normal day with work available, how many hours would you think this guy can turn? Just an estimate. See?
In a day?
In a day.
Should turn 8 hours.
Okay. Any other suggestions? Bud? Andy? 6? Ray? John?
I would say 5.
5? Let's try 4. Remember, we want this guy to learn. We don't want him under the gun. We don't want him on the clock. We want this guy to be in a continuing learning environment because he's your investment. And we don't want to beat him up too bad right now. We'll wait for graduation for that. Let's try 4. This student is going to turn 4 hours a day. And let's see how this works out money-wise. 4 hours a day, we're paying $8 an hour. So he made $32 that day. What about the master tech? He gets how much? 50%. He gets 2 hours, right?
You said you were paying the student a clock hour.
He's there 8 hours. Pay him $64.
I'm sorry, pardon me. He was there 8 hours, $64. Thank Andy. The master tech was looking at 4 hours turn. The master tech picks up how many hours? 2. So the master tech gets 2 hours. He's getting 50% of the 4 hours turn. And what's a normal master tech up here on? $12? Let's call it 12, because I can do the math in my head. At $12, we're going to pay the master tech $24. So we got 64 and 24, that's $108 if we pay it out. How much did the student make for us that day, though? He's got 4 hours that he turned times, what's an average rate, $35? 4 hours times 35 is $140. How much is the dealer left with? The dealer made $32 out of the deal that day for a student that turned 4 hours. And I would suggest that the guy can do better than that. But again, keeping him in a learning environment. The dealer can make money, the master tech can make money, the student can pay his bills and have a learning environment provided. So the money side of things is not critical. This is an opportunity for future resources for you. And with some sort of creative pay plan, you can have this student, this master tech, and the dealer all happy with the project. Be more creative. Take $1 an hour, throw it into a pool, and tell the student, when you're through and graduate and come to work for me, I'll give you his money. Because when he graduates, you'll be a resource. He's got his credentials, he's got his ASC, he's ready to go. And if Mike wants him more than you do, you'll get a problem. So you can be even more creative with an employment bonus type pool. It could be created out of the profits that you'll make for having the student on your line. Rich?
What about the time involved in the master tech checking the work done? How much time is going to take when normal earnings?
Well, we want to provide this student with tasks that he's been trained to perform. So they don't want to be highly technical, it's not running circuit. And I would again suggest by the time he gets through all 2 years plus training, that he'd be certainly qualified to set those and rotate, balance, align, oil change, monitor tempers, and those sorts of things. The master tech certainly has to check every job. This guy in full-blown tech. And that's where the payment for the master tech comes in. But I would suggest this guy will turn a sufficient number of hours to make the master techs in your shop raising their hands wanting the next guy through. Kind of looks like the old apprenticeship program. I love that.
I've been through that years ago. We used to do the same thing. They training for $5 an hour. They technicians. Worked real well. It takes a lot of my time. Checking schedule of work that he does.
Well, the kinship that you can produce and the quick communication you can produce by having one student and one master tech will speed that. And if the jobs are properly dispatched to him, and that's where you as a service manager come in, then you won't overwhelm him with technical things he doesn't have the qualifications to handle, and he can turn it around. It's going to take some work on the dealer's part. It's going to take some work on the service manager's part. It also takes work on the technician's part. But again, it's just demonstrated with a little imagination it can be good for all three too. And what we're left with, frankly, is our future. You
was talking with one of the instructors this morning, and we were discussing the hardest or the most difficult thing for students today is affording the cost here at OSU or at any institution for higher education. We feel at Toyota, to be able to attract the type of students that we're looking for to produce the end product of these highly qualified individuals, we need to offer them some incentives. So what we've done is we've instituted in the program some objectives for the schools to accomplish, and if they accomplish those objectives, we will give them a donation, corresponding donation. I'm happy to say that OSU has accomplished some of these objectives, and that we are here today to give them a donation for their students. We have, I'd like to present today to OSU from Toyota Motor Sales a check for $5,000 for tuition scholarships for their students. Now this is on this is basically a per year program. They're eligible for more scholarships next year. And along with that, we also have tool set scholarships that we'll be offering the students. And there's pictures of the tool sets on the back table. There's snap-on tool sets, starter apprentice kit that will be given to the students to use while they're in school. When they graduate and go to work at the dealership, that's when the tool set becomes theirs. Okay. So again, we're going to be helping them with some tools. So I'd like to, this morning, present this check to Steve. Maybe we get some pictures of this. Again, this is for the tuition scholarship. Yeah. This way.
Thanks, Rick. Well, thank you, Sam. Certainly, Sam is right. The way to attract students into the program and make it affordable for them is through a scholarship program. And there's no doubt in our mind that that's going to go a long way to help get some good, productive students into this Toyota program. We're going to go to lunch, and I apologize for being just a little behind schedule. Instructors, I really apologize to you because you're going to go without lunch today, aren't you? And I'm sorry for that. I'll make it up to you somewhere along the line. But at lunch now, we want to talk to you and show you a little bit about the recruitment procedures that we use to bring students into the program, and one way that we're going to apply some scholarship money. And Jerry, if you'll take them just out that door and go around here, and we'll just walk up to the tech room where we're going to have lunch. We'll do all the rest of the program in the tech room. So please come with us, learn about student recruitment, and we'll wind up right there. Thank you.